All right, everybody, welcome to another breaking news. Got some pretty good, exciting stuff, in my opinion. I got a couple pictures from people from yourself that's in the chat I'm going to show during the Bigfoot section. And guys, I've been telling you, send me videos, send me pictures, send me whatever you want. I actually made an email address that's easier to remember in a lot of ways. An email address where I know exactly that's going to be for pictures and videos. Because sometimes I search through emails, I've skipped people by accident. It's not that I mean to, it's just by accident. So the email address is therealbreakingnews@gmail.com. Oh, I forgot the dot between the L and the com. No big deal. You guys know what it is. Therealbreakingnews@gmail.com. So if you got pictures, videos, want to be seen on this channel, email it there. And then, I might not get it the very next day, but 4 shows a week, there's a good chance that it'll make it that week. So we got Connor jumping on today. I think we got an awesome show. And I think you guys know the rules. No, there's no rules. No rules. It's just basically we show videos. It could be yesterday's video. Could be 8 years, 5 years, yesterday, last week. It doesn't matter. It could be a future video that's not out yet. In a parallel universe, somebody went through a wormhole and handed us a video. It's about sharing information, having people see for the first time, because remember, you might have seen it. Doesn't mean the guy next to you have seen it.
Right.
Okay? I know people who have never seen the original Bigfoot footage of the Peterson. There's a lot of people who have never seen that.
For sure. And we have had a weird day already. You and I were both on the Chad Smith podcast, and there were people on there that have been witnessed and that have experienced portals and time travel themselves. So, man, the expoundedness of this morning was amazing. And I'm just so happy to be here on the Gypsy Road.
That was fun. That was fun. I mean, I was really getting in there because I wanted some answers and questions, since I can't do that yet, make portals, but hey, doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean I won't. If I could do a live portal right here on this breaking news, I will. But beyond that, guys, let me get over here. We're just going to jump right into the Bigfoot. All right, so let me get here with the first one I'm going to show. The first one I'm going to show is called Real or Hoax. A new Bigfoot exhibit is drawing standing room crowds in Lacey. So we keep talking about this. There's more museums out there than we think. It's really amazing. I mean, to open up a museum is you got to have people come. I mean, how can you open a museum if you can't make any money? You got to have enough people that wants to be there. So it's really cool to see that all these museums exist that I didn't even know about. Man, at Discovery Plus, are you listening? You should send both of us to every Bigfoot museum for a show. And of course, we'll do Bigfoot searches on the side and all that. We'll add some stuff to the show, make it more than just visiting a museum. But that's a good premises for a show. So let's check this first video out.
The fact is that it is likely not a human. It's something close to human.
You'll see plaster casts of feet size 18 EE. Compare the human skull to one the size of a Sasquatch and get an up-close look at one of the most famous home movies ever shot. It's all part of the exhibit, Sasquatch Revealed, drawing standing room only crowds at the Lacey Museum.
So that's really what this exhibit is all about, is showing the evidence that's out there and seeing what you think about it.
It is the largest collection of Sasquatch-related artifacts ever assembled. So big you can catch some of the overflow at Lacey City Hall. And it all belongs to Canadian expert Chris Murphy.
There were hominoids that existed 200,000 years ago, and we believe that maybe some of them might still exist, and the Sasquatch is probably one of them.
Since the early 90s, Murphy has written books and addressed conferences where he shares theories about where the Sasquatch may live. All just theories, of course. Solid proof, hard to come by.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. We have not been able to come up with a body or bones, and that is a tough one. And we don't want to shoot one. And I have heard from hunters who say, look, I had one, I saw it, but I didn't want to shoot it because it looked too human.
There is, of course, the famous Patterson-Gimlin film shot in Northern California in 1967, studied by scientists for more than 50 years.
And we're looking at it frame by frame, blown up as far as you can get. He could not find any evidence that it was a hoax.
There are also recordings.
We've had those sounds analyzed, and they come from something that we don't think a human being can duplicate.
Not sold? Meet a local witness.
We could hear this kaplunk, kaplunk in the river.
Larry Barnes believes in 1973, a Sasquatch spent the night terrorizing his group camping along the Nisqually River.
The Sasquatch are known to throw rocks at you, so we're thinking that he was just trying to scare us off or something.
There is a room full of evidence at the Lacey Museum, but still more needed to convince skeptics.
It does look like it's out there, but we have to solidly prove it.
I love it, man. I'm telling you, there's museums everywhere, and I love that guy's spirit. He's like, he knows it's there. He doesn't have the proof of the bones and stuff, but he knows they exist. And that's the attitude you got to have. Even in Canada, doesn't matter. God, I would love to just take a trip and go to all the museums.
For sure, man. That place looked awesome. It was just a little white house, but what was inside would blow your mind. And I love how they have that giant skeleton that doesn't fit inside the one-story house, so they had to ship it to City Hall. But yeah, man, that's so cool. The biggest collection of relics, which I'm sure some people, Dave Shealy down in the Skunk Ape headquarters and then up in Expedition Bigfoot in Tennessee, they'd say, hey, we have a good amount too. But man, if we could all just pile up our evidence and just admire the cast and all the stories, and when they make it interactive, that really moves us forward. So yeah, one day hopefully I can either go in a barrel over Niagara Falls and then scoop over to the other Canadian side, or maybe go Kid Cannabis style through Minnesota. But yeah, catch me at the Lacey Museum one day too. Yeah.
Now guys, before I play another video, a listener, one of our people in the chat, sent me some pictures. Casper Bigfoot sent me some pictures. Now, this is what he wrote. He took this picture last summer on a hike to the Dovre Mountains in Norway. So this is actually in Norway. I am not an expert on the topic, so I'm not sure if this is a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch or a troll. Personally, I think it's a troll. Dovre has a long history of troll sightings, which that is interesting. Alongside Norway, in general, has a long history of trolls. You can see beside the figure that are some wild muskox who I think it was maybe attacking or hunting. Maybe they also live in a piece. I'm not sure. Would love to see you make a video live on this. Keep up the good work. And that's a good one. This is something that because of him, we're going to look at the pictures here. Actually, here, let me pull one up right now. Let me pull one up. Come on. There you go. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I'll make it bigger. Let me go here. Whoops. Okay. You can see it. If you, it looks like there's some buffalo, but you see like a man standing down there next to two buffaloes to the right. Like there's two buffaloes laying down, and there's a thing here. Let me see if I can not manipulate, but get it there. Hold on. Let me see. You see it right there?
Oh yeah. That's an amazing capture.
Yeah, and this is in Norway. So this is freaking awesome to get this picture sent to me. And this is him himself taking the picture.
They're bear, not buffalo, but that just shows right there that a man definitely couldn't get that close to a bear. So I am definitely thinking Sasquatch, but I am definitely open to the mind of trolls, because the Norwegian legends go very far back with these giant beasts. But man, that is amazing. And that's what it's about, is opening up these conversations so we can actually, decipher some evidence. And that's amazing right there.
In this one, he put a circle on it for me.
Oh yeah, we saw it clear as day though, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good because that's not a bear standing on two legs like that, because the bear would be a lot wider. You know what I mean? And that's not a human standing at me. I don't know about the bears in Norway. Maybe they are friendly, but everybody knows that you see a bear, you don't go out and pet it.
And you see how big and hulking figure his upper body is too. Not really proportionate to a normal human being, not even any of these Norwegian, hairy men. But man, that is definitely some type of creature right there. That is special. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's the most awesome part. And like I said, Casper Bigfoot, thank you very much for sending it to me. You're right. It could be a troll, or it could be a Sasquatch, could be a Bigfoot. Maybe everybody thinks the trolls are trolls, but maybe the trolls are actually miniature Bigfoots. I mean, we don't know, but that's what's cool. The folklore stories, knowing the stories of the place that you live in the country. Yeah, that's priceless. That's priceless. So thank you very much. And like I said, guys, you can start now sending me pictures and books, and I'm going to get it a lot easier. Let me pop it up one more time. You can send me emails now, videos to therealbreakingnews@gmail.com. The Real Breaking News, which we are the Real Breaking News, right? There's nobody better than this. All right, here we go. This next one I'm going to show you is actually in Florida. I think Connor has gone to this place a lot, and I think they mentioned Stacy Brown in this clip. So let's hear this. Oh, hold on. My bad. My bad. I was actually on the YouTube channel description and not on the video here.
Heels of a video released earlier this week coming out of Indonesia that may be proof of the elusive Bigfoot. SNN took a visit to Myakka State Park to explore the creature that may be right in our own backyards.
We are in this area right here.
Ree Monteith is an investigator with the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. She explains there have been numerous sightings of what may or may not be Bigfoot in Myakka State Park.
Some people who are camping or hiking, sometimes they hear strange noises that they can't explain what they are.
Ree says the most recent credible Bigfoot sighting in Myakka was in 2014. Witnesses say some kind of creature crossed the road right in front of them.
I get a lot of witnesses that will even say, look, I'll tell you what I saw, and I'm not sure what I saw because I don't know what it was, but I can't identify it. It wasn't a human, it wasn't a bear, it wasn't a panther, but it best fits the description of what we call a skunk ape or a Bigfoot.
So why Myakka? According to Ree, these creatures inhabit heavily forested, remote areas and near water, and that describes Myakka perfectly, and other parts of Florida.
We have a huge amount of reports that come from here. Also, this area, it is also the highest elevation in peninsular Florida. And we get a huge amount of reports in this area as well.
The BFRO has received over 55,000 reports from across the country since 1995. Not all are credible, but even with so many sightings, no one should feel the need to be in any danger.
And we don't have any reports of them ever hurting anybody. The worst things is if you're in an area, somebody might get rocks thrown at them, but a Sasquatch has never hurt anybody. We have no report of that.
The next time you're around Myakka, keep an eye out. You never know what you might see.
Well, as for the footage from Indonesia, Ree isn't convinced it's showing Bigfoot. If you'd like to contact Ree to set up an investigation, you can go online to bfro.net.
All right, Connor, you know that area. Tell us about that place.
Yes, Myakka State Park. That's where Brian Laundrie was hiding, supposedly. But that place is filled with strange lore. In 1994, my good friend Donnie Miller actually interviewed a hunter that said he had to shoot a Sasquatch dead that leaped at him. And then, of course, we know about the Myakka skunk ape photos, the two anonymous photos of a sharp-teethed skunk ape creature, and they were anomalously sent to the Sarasota Police Department, and they are now, one of the best evidence for the Sasquatch being. But me, man, I have had my own strange vibes at Myakka. I was camping there with Stacy Brown, Tyler Howell Outdoors, he's in here right now, Nana Boss, Squatch in South Florida, and all four of us were all in different tents, but we all experienced a lot of strange stuff. It sounded like there was monkeys screaming in the forest. Squatch in South Florida recorded samurai chatter, knocks, something walking outside our tent, and even throwing acorns. Tyler Howell Outdoors had a dream that a Sasquatch reached out to him, and then when he woke up, he could sense that it was nearby. So I feel like there's a lot more strange stuff than just Sasquatch. I think it's convergence of ley lines, underground accessories like gemstones, gold, caverns underneath. So yes, it is the Mecca. And then there's also been 5 or 6 different clips of skunk ape creatures down there. But yes, guys, the Myakka State Park is the home of the Cabbage Man, and that is so awesome that they are brave enough to put it on the news and really move forward with it.
Yes, exactly. So and I thought you might like that one.
I did. Once I saw that Myakka was mentioned, I was super excited. And I just hope all the news stations, contact us, because Squatch in South Florida and Nana Boss, they found orange and clear hair there. So we have possible DNA of the wild man, discovered on our expedition. And everybody check out the Crawley Nature Preserve if you ever get a chance. Finding Bigfoot was filmed there. There's a sweet bird observation deck that we got some crazy thermal images from. But the boardwalk definitely needs some work. So please donate to the Crawley Nature Preserve if you can. But if you're ever just in Central or Southern Florida, visit Myakka. Right
before we go to the paranormal, 2 guests that's in the chat that I see, Chad Smith Podcast and Spooky Morales is in the chat. They did an awesome show today. You guys get a chance. I put the link right here to that. Especially the last 45 minutes, the show was off the hook. Some guy came on there named Gypsy Roach up on the show, and then it really took off. So if you guys just want to watch the last 45 minutes of that, go to that link. But seriously, watch the whole thing. It was so interesting about the parallel universe of going through. It was a very fun show. It was a very awesome topic. I don't know how long they were talking about that, because I had to do things in the morning. So I get in there around 9. But it was very cool. So guys, check that out if you can. And let them know. If you go in there for the first time, say, hey, dude, Gypsy Rose sent me over here. Let them know. People appreciate that. Beyond that, guys, I think it's time for, let me see here, Paranormal. All right, so this first paranormal clip is called Police Officer Describes Ghostly Encounter at Pali Lookout. Pali Lookout. So this is the Honolulu police. This is in Hawaii. So if you don't think there's ghosts in Hawaii, you're thinking wrong. Here we go.
Heels of a video released earlier this week.
That one. Let me delete that. Let me get that one out. Sorry, my bad.
Well, with Halloween approaching tomorrow, Honolulu police have a spooky story of their own. An officer telling of a story her partner told her of a ghostly encounter at the Pali Lookout. The story was put together by HPD, and they've given us permission to share it with you.
One of the things that we have to do in District 5 is make checks of the Pali Lookout and Pali Highway. Also at nighttime, we have to go up there and lock both gates. So at that time, my beat partner was a blue and white driver. She was still a rookie. She said she was assigned to close the Pali gates that night. And most officers, they don't like to go and they don't like to, close the gates because it's so dark up there at the Pali Lookout. She said she pulled up to the first gate, she locked that one, and she got back in her car and she drove going into the Pali Lookout. But as she drove in, she saw something white. She remembered stories where officers would get into accidents because, they drive past this white figure. So she drove closer, and as she got closer, and it appeared to be a lady wearing a white dress. And she was like, oh, I better stop and ask to see if she's okay. So when she pulled up, and she started rolling down her window, but as she turned out and looked out the window to start asking the lady why she was there, she felt this eerie feeling in the blue and white. And that's when she looked in the rearview mirror and she realized the lady was sitting in the backseat of the blue and white. I remember her telling me that her grandmother always told her if you do encounter any kind of spirit or anything, you need to stay calm and you need to talk to the spirit.
Good advice.
So as she's driving, the lady's in the back seat, she kept talking to the lady.
Oh, what are you doing out here, Auntie?
So to stay calm, she kept talking to the lady. And the whole time, the lady sat there, said nothing, and was looking down. When she got to the second gate, she got out, quickly closed that gate, and she knew that spirit was still in the back seat. So she got back in and she continued to talk to the person. Oh, I don't have anything to offer you right now. I'm just doing my job. I have to lock the gates. I have to drive around. And I do have to go through the tunnels, but, I cannot take you all the way to Kanyohi, to Kailua, because that's out of my district. But, I want you to be safe. And she kind of told that to the spirit. And the whole time, the lady sat there, said nothing, and was looking down. So as she was driving down, she went through the tunnels, and she just felt this overwhelming peace. She just felt at peace. And then she looked up into the rearview mirror, and she noticed that the lady was gone.
Never called for backup? Our thanks to HPD for putting that together and allowing us to share it. Now, you can see a longer version by going to our website at khon2.com.
And I will put that in the link, if you want to go there to their channel to get a longer version. But first of all, why I like it. This is not coming from a regular person like us. This is coming from the police force. Okay? Think about that, guys. If you're the police, you're coming out with a story saying you had a ghost riding the back of your vehicle, sitting there, and you're having a conversation. Most people would be like, I think you're experiencing PTSD. So to come out like that takes guts. And 100%. I like her message that she was taught by her mom. Don't try to be scared. Talk to it. Talk to it normal. Try to be friendly, because maybe if you try to be scared or a jackass, maybe you scare it to scare you. But try to talk it normal, and that takes guts, guys. Listen, you're driving. There's a ghost sitting there. Most people probably want to piss their pants. You know what I mean? I'm seriously. A lot of people probably want to piss their pants, like, run out of the car. But good teachings. That's good teachings from a parent. So I appreciate that. So guys, what's the moral to that story? Okay, hold on. So the moral to that story is, if you see a ghost, I know you're scared, talk to it. Be nice. Be friends with it, because it'll go a long way. It will go a long way. It might be the difference between, I don't know. Hey, especially when you're driving, right? You don't want in the dark. You don't want to crash. So be kind to the ghost. They're not all there. They're not all there to hurt you. You saw there. Be friendly. So I love it when I see it from the police force. It's very awesome. So this next one that I'm going to show is about the Mothman. This is okay. Let me see here. Let me find this on my other page. I should have been way more prepared. Paranormal, West Virginia, the Mothman. Here we go with the Mothman.
Caused the collapse somehow.
Oh, I gotta rewind that. So this is West Virginia Mothman.
Final installment this season of the Paranormal West Virginia is now available. It's at our website. And in this episode, reporter Shayla Klein visited Point Pleasant, uncovering the legend behind the Mothman.
In many ways, Mothman has become West Virginia's favorite cryptid. The creature is recognizable to most of us between the black wings and the beady red eyes. And while no one knows the origin story behind Mothman, many have speculated that he mutated in TNT chemicals at West Virginia Ordnance Works. We are now standing in front of what locals call the igloo. That's where Mothman was first sighted. The igloos were created to store TNT, but have since been abandoned. Mothman Museum employee Brittany Sayers says her grandfather was one of the National Guardsmen that initially saw Mothman at the TNT area.
He and another guy that he worked with were out there working on a vehicle and saw this big thing in the tree. And he came home, told my nanny about it, my grandma. And of course, you just had to know her. She was like, "You're crazy. If you tell people you saw that, they're going to think you're crazy." So he never talked about it.
Mothman was famously seen near or on the Silver Bridge right before the collapse in 1967. After that moment, people were split on whether Mothman was good or evil. Some speculated that Mothman caused the collapse somehow, while others speculated he was just trying to warn people of impending doom.
In many ways, he is both, because there's no actual proof that he caused the collapse. He could have just been saying, "Hey, it's going to happen, look out. You know, I'm up here on the bridge pointing out the brake." You know?
But regardless of if Mothman is a hero or a villain, his popularity has expanded around the world and brought a lot of tourism to Point Pleasant. Sarah says that while there's always some locals who aren't a big fan, most of the people in the town are all for the Mothman theme.
Before Mothman things took off around here, it was pretty much dead. Like, even when I was growing up, Main Street was empty. And now we've got shops in the buildings, and people are coming in, and it's thriving again, thank goodness. So a lot of people are glad about that.
Point Pleasant has plenty of Mothman food, shopping, and activities for the whole family. For WBOY, I'm Shayla Klein in Point Pleasant.
You know, one of the biggest regrets that I ever have is when I was living in Frederick, Maryland. I mean, it was cool that I lived next to Gettysburg, that West Virginia was just right there. And I never went to the town to go check out that, you know, Mothman, that museum and stuff. I wish I had the opportunity to, because, you know, the legend of Mothman, I mean, it's a legend. You know, was he warning people about the bridge? Did he tear down the bridge? There's even a story that I'm not going to get into any September 11 talks, but there's even a story that Mothman was there. I'm not going to get into that world, but so it's very interesting. I don't know if look at poor Connor, that poor guy. He's got customers in. He's listening because he's dying to talk Mothman, because that I don't know, Connor, if you can speak, but have you been to that museum where that Mothman is? Oh, you're on mute. That was awesome.
No, I haven't been to that museum. I definitely need to go, as we're having our own little chaos Mothman, you know, strategy through here right now. But I definitely need to go because it's right at the bottom of my home state. So next time I go home and visit Cleveland, I am stopping at the Flatwoods Monster Museum, the West Virginia Bigfoot Museum, the Mothman Museum, the Serpent Mounds right by BF Bud. I'm staying with Amber's Paraworld. So I got a lot of stuff once I get free from these four walls.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, keep spreading that word. Well, guys, I think it's time for some UFOs. Are they real, hoax, or what is it? All right, this next video clip is records show thousands of UFO sightings in Manitoba. Well, first of all, I forgot what the fuck is Manitoba. I'm trying to remember if it told me where the fuck is Manitoba. Province, existence. The earliest days. I don't know. Well, let's check out this video.
But you may see all sorts of things in the sky. Planes, birds, perhaps even a UFO.
Yeah, it seems our province is a hotspot for unidentified flying objects. Over the years, thousands have been reported for again, a number of years that have been logged, and some are truly bizarre. CTV's John Hendricks joins us now in our studios.
Now, John, I know you've been sifting through a lot of UFO reports. What's the ratio of Chinese lanterns to actual unidentified flying objects?
Well, Marilee, it is higher than you might think. There are more and more reports of UFOs being made each year. Now, most are later identified, but some simply can't be easily explained.
No way, it broke a sound barrier. I know.
Late one afternoon this summer, Kent Graham saw something strange in the sky above Winnipeg. Something he simply couldn't explain.
Your eye goes to it right away. It was like an orange sparkler coming down. The sparks went away, and it was just a globe of orange light that started just doing crazy moves.
This is in Canada. My bad. Another Canada. Sorry. I had to look it up Google real quick. I knew it was Canada. I knew it was them. But it is them.
Moves he can't imagine any earthly object duplicating.
It's unidentified, that's for sure.
And just one of thousands of unexplained objects sighted in the skies over our province.
Look at it, it's behind the tree. What is that?
It seems Manitoba is a hotbed of UFO activity, with thousands of sightings stretching back to the earliest days of our province's existence.
Picture this, 1792, that's quite a long time ago, and a lot of the West was still generally unsettled. David Thompson was in an area that was now around Thicket Portage in 1792, and it was winter, when they said that they had seen a mass of gelatinous luminosity moving through the air, and it actually approached them, and when it was in a few hundred feet of them, it dropped to the surface of the lake and vanished from sight.
UFO researcher Chris Rutkowski says Thompson had no reason to make up this story, and given the time period, it couldn't have been a plane or other man-made object that he spotted in the sky.
Very intriguing, a mystery.
One of the many compiled in a report he calls the M-Files. Another favorite chronicles a strange encounter between a cube-shaped UFO and a group of children in Thompson on June 30th, 1967.
As they were playing, this wind came up and this object appeared in the sky, and one of the girls who was closest to it started being sucked up into the sky by this whatever it was. And they actually had to grab her legs and pull her back down to the ground to keep her from flying off and being abducted by a flying cube.
The incident was witnessed by the girl's father, the object by the mother, and neither one had any motive to lie about it.
So I'd have to rank that fairly high up on the strange factor.
Where does Kent Graham's sighting rank?
Did you see that?
Rutkowski was able to enhance the video somewhat, and the object becomes clearer and less mysterious.
Probably a drone, yeah.
Not an aircraft, not a Chinese lantern.
Rutkowski says most UFO reports are later identified, but about 17% are officially labeled as unexplained.
After being involved in this for more than 30 years, there is a real phenomenon. I can definitely say there's a real phenomenon. It's not something that's made up. It's not hallucinations. People are actually seeing things.
What those things are remains unknown, unidentified, and a chapter to be investigated in the M-Files. Now, as we mentioned, there have been thousands of sightings across our province, the vast majority right here in Winnipeg. There have been 767 UFO sightings in Winnipeg, tops in the province. Carman had the second most with 53. Now, Brandon had 45 UFO sightings. There were 40 UFO reports up north in Thompson, and the small farming community of Sperling was fifth with 36 sightings.
John, most are a chance occurrence, but is there anything a person can do to increase their odds of seeing these things?
Yeah, if you want to see something, it looks like you can do something to improve those odds.
I want to hear this.
The prime time for seeing UFOs in Manitoba was between 10 p.m. and midnight. So that's a great time to go outside and look up.
Perfect. Thanks.
That's awesome. I'm serious. I've never heard somebody actually give a time frame of when's the best time to see UFOs, because of all research, let's be honest, of all research, the UFOs is the hardest to ever research. I mean, it's not like you're hearing something in the woods, crackling, making noises, sounds, seeing eyes, seeing, pictures. You're seeing something way in the sky that most cameras will only get a dot of. I mean, it's I'm not saying it's next to impossible, but it's just hard to say it's real. I mean, they're all UFOs, unidentified flying objects, all of them, because you can't identify them that easy. But to say 10 to 12 o'clock, Discovery Plus, send me Connor there. We'll make sure we camp out between 10 and 12. We'll make like s'mores. We'll get some marshmallows, whatever, hot dogs, and
For sure. I'm all for it. And we'll even, bust out some Stephen Greer CE5 meditations to try to summon these creatures or these things out of the sky, deities and lights. We actually witnessed some UFO encounters and experiences. I saw some weird lights, but some other people had some more groundbreaking, like red lights and actually seeing some kind of shape to it. But that was all after Phyllis Caesar did some kind of summoning and CE5 meditation. So yeah, we can look at the time from 10 to 12, but you can also change your chemical makeup to be ready for these creatures, or maybe to pull them towards you. But man, that's fascinating. And yes, it's in Canada. Manitoba is in Canada.
We don't think, living in the United States, we don't think how much sightings there are outside the United States. And you just saw 2 videos today from Canada that they get sightings just as much as us. So it's very,
100%.
very, very fucking awesome. Now, guys, I don't know if you guys are into the Mandela effect or not, but if you are, I got a special announcement about. I should have brought this up yesterday during the breaking news about. It's a tragedy in a lot of different ways. I should have brought it up yesterday. I did not. I feel bad that I didn't. You guys will see what I'm talking about right after this intro.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. Luke, I am your father.
All right, guys. I didn't bring this up yesterday that one of the greats has passed away, Ivan Reitman. Okay? For me, that's a hit because of the I'm going to give you 5 directors that I would say that helped me in my age, for my age group where I was at, that influenced me about the movies and where, kind of movies that I like and stuff. I'm going to give you 5. George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, John Carpenter, John Hughes, and Ivan Reitman. John Hughes, because to me, he made like the best high school movies there is. 16 Candles, Weird Science. I mean, even Home Alone. He even did Home Alone and stuff. But John Hughes was a genius. George Lucas, the Star Wars movies, the opening your imagination to what could be. Steven Spielberg, who worked with George Lucas on Indiana Jones and just all the adventures that it brought to you. John Carpenter, who told you that he could make a horror movie under $200,000, $300,000. He could give you that great. And then you got fucking Ivan Reitman. Okay? Ivan Reitman. Animal House. Meatballs, which is in one of my intro. Dave. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Dave, about a president who's about dying and they found a lookalike to replace him as president, a lot of people don't talk about Dave. That movie is a classic by Ivan Reitman. And then you got, I know we got Ed Lorraine Warren, who's the godfather and godmother of the paranormal, of the real researchers, but like the popularity that really brought paranormal to the research world to say, I want to research the paranormal. You got fucking Ivan Reitman, who did Ghostbusters. I mean, Stripes. Oh my God, dude, Stripes. You know, and Stripes, and the thing is, Ivan Reitman's from Canada himself, and he was known to help Canadians to get to the movies and all that. During Stripes, he worked with Harold Ramis, who got Harold Ramis to the point where he directed movies like Caddyshack, all the way to who I consider a Mandela Effect movie, Groundhog Day, about reliving the day over and over and over. All came from Ivan Reitman's tree.
Wow.
I mean, so today's Mandela Effect in honor is going to be Ghostbusters, where a friend of mine, Hazel Fever, did a little small video about Ghostbusters, about is it one word or is it two words? Okay. What I mean is, like, for example, there's people who remember meatloaf as one word, but actually meatloaf is actually technically two words. And it makes sense on either side. I mean, I'm not here to say one or the other, but let's check out this video, Ghostbusters, in honor of Ivan Reitman. Here's the Mandela Effect about Ghostbusters.
cereal in the neighborhood with owls and ghosts.
Tastes real good. Marshmallow ghost, fruit flavored O's. Ghostbusters taste great with milk and juice and toast and a nutritious breakfast with the ghost.
Let's look at baby.
Fruit flavored O's. Marshmallow ghost. Hey, what are you gonna crunch?
So, guys, that was kind of like a tribute to Ivan Reitman. And I got to bring something back here. Danny, Evolution is a movie that's way underrated. About the evolution with the animals or when the meteorite hits in the cave and starts growing and things got out. X-Files actor.
David Duchovny.
David in it. And they had
Orlando Jones and Juliette Lewis in it. Yeah.
I mean,
it's really cool.
Ivan Reitman just and the thing about Ivan Reitman, the humor. I don't know how. Okay, if you guys watch Marvel, Disney forces a lot of humor in it. They know they want humor, they type it in. Ivan Reitman had a gift where the humor was natural. It was written where the actors made it funny. You know, if you watch Ghostbusters, when Bill Murray was talking to the librarian where she's laying on the table, when he asked her, "Are you ministrating right now?" I mean, you know, he made that funny. It wasn't like it was meant for a joke and just, "Are you ministrating right now?" Because in the paranormal world, there is some evidence that's saying, I'm not trying to be sounding like, don't say, Eric, you're being sexist here. I'm not. That women who ministrate are actually technically supposedly seeing more ghosts than they're not. So the question that he asked was technically a real science question. But the way he said it, everybody was laughing their head off. I mean, the comedy is so natural in it, in Ivan Reitman's movie, that he doesn't have to write it on purpose. Well, we got to make this part funny. It's just naturally funny because the people that he get to play in his movies. You know? So, Connor, I mean, I know you were born after me, of course, but I know you're a movie guy. You know.
Here, you guys want to hear how I answer a phone call live and direct? Let's see. Retro new video games. No copies of Zelda at the moment, man. But definitely keep in touch. All right, brother. Have a nice day. Super Mario, no, we don't either.
This is
have a nice day.
On breaking news. And KB,
no, I'm not lying. I'm just getting to the point. You know, sometimes these people got to understand that we're doing bigger things, you know, and the store has to go around. But, you know, sometimes people just call just to talk and just to ask questions that they already know the answers to. That guy was already here today, and now he's asking me if we have video games. Couldn't he have just scanned when he was here? You know, I am a very open-minded person, very easygoing. So if you feel me getting short with you, come on, check out your reflection. Because I always try to put other people first, but we don't got all day to wait around.
But I know you being younger, you weren't born during the teenage years of Ivan Reitman, but I know you watch his work and you respect his work.
Yes, 1,000,000%. Ghostbusters definitely set a lot in stone. And then Stripes is a cool Bill Murray, you know, story that I didn't know that kind of transpired to Caddyshack and Groundhog Day. So that really just opens me up, man. And I love hearing people take pride in directors because I'm a big director guy too. And then you just follow their family tree. But man, yes, rest in peace. And then I also just want to show that this one is Ghostbusters all in one word. But of course, this was made in 2019. So this would be the newer update of the new name. But I was trying to scan all the DVDs there and try to find some of the originals. But sadly, they were all taken after the new movie was such a hit. You know, it was an awesome redemption for our homie Ivan.
Exactly. You know, 2 words, 1 word, those are always the hardest. Because like Meatloaf, people remember as 1 word. When you look at the album, they put the names so close together. Sometimes they do look like 1 word when technically they are 2 words. But I'm willing to hear both sides, you know, and both sides have points of 1 word, 2 words. So it's not a Mandela effect that I would even go to war with. It's just fun, you know. I respect anybody's opinion who remembers 1 word or 2 words because I can see both sides of it.
100%. And that's what it's all about, is having open-minded. You know, we all have different perspectives, different consciousness, you know, and we just have to tap into it all. We can't throw anything outside of the jar, because there's some kind of root there. And that's what I think is so cool about these Mandela effects, because it shows that there's not everything is so easy and clear in this world. Sometimes there is question marks and blurriness.
Yep. And then, guys, tomorrow night, I haven't got the link yet. It's going to be a kick-ass show. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a show on the young guns again of the Bigfoot community. Even if it's somebody in the paranormal, doesn't matter what community. Young people who listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm getting older. I know one day that I'm going to be in the ground. It's a fact. I will die one day. I can't change that. But knowing there's people behind me that's going to continue the conversations about the paranormal, about the Bigfoots, about the Mandela effects and UFOs, it's encouraging. And any of you who are getting up there in age, you should want to encourage young people to stay focused and don't be afraid of these subjects. Encourage them that we're here, we're listening to you, so they can continue it on and then one day Connor's going to get to an age where he's going to want to mentor young people to continue their work. This is the way. Just like the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
This is the way. It's the way.
There's Yoda, and then there's Grogu. And as we see, guys, Yoda was dope. But look at all the baby Yoda talk. It's all about these young guns, the new era. Oh, man, because you know, I might have glasses, but I can see straight, man. And some of these people, they've had the blinders over their eyes for too long. So Squatch in South Florida, Tyler Howell, Chaz of the Dead, Occult 45, Chad Smith podcast. We're breaking through, and that's what I like. We're lowering the median age. And no offense to the older people, but we need more younger people in this. And that's what we're going after, man. And of course, TikTok and Discord, they're definitely overflowing with young people. So you just have to combine the worlds. And I think every single day when we have these platforms and conversations and digging up awesome old stories, it brings us closer to who we're supposed to be and who we used to be.
Oh, and guys, I forgot to mention some other movies that Ivan Reitman did that were fantastic. My bad. Twins. Come on. Who did not like Twins? Kindergarten Cop. Of course, my super ex-girlfriend, which to me that is another underrated movie, and a movie that you wouldn't even think that this movie would be directed by Ivan Reitman with Kevin Costner, called Draft Day. He even directed a movie about football.
I'm in Draft Day.
Are you really?
Yeah, they showed a couple shots of the games I was at. So you'd need a super HD camera, but I could point to you, and I have pictures of me being in that seat. So yes, Kevin Costner, Jennifer Gardner, and a couple other girls from my high school were in that movie as well.
He also produced a cartoon called Heavy Metal. A lot of people who remember Heavy Metal, he produced that. He produced Space Jam.
Wow.
With Michael Jordan. He produced Private Parts with
Howard Stern. Put that guy in the grave, man. He's done. Platforms like this are the end of Howard Stern. End it, man. He used to stand for, open-mindedness and even just open platform, and now he's all about censorship and mandates. Come on, man. What a joke. I want to challenge him to like a boxing. It wouldn't be much impressive on me because I'm 29 and he's like 130. But man, him and his little co-host, that girl, they can both get it, man. They are so weak. They were on top of the podcast game and the radio game because it was a monopoly, because there was no other people to even put out information. Now there's 50,000 shows and they are just trying to keep their head above water. Private Parts, trash. Good movie, but
here's a couple. He's an executive producer on Road Trip, which that was a fun movie. Old School.
That was the first movie I ever saw nudity in.
Old School is like a modern day Animal House, which was really awesome. And one of my favorite National Lampoon movie, Euro Trip. I love Euro Trip.
Mine too.
I mean,
this isn't where I parked my car.
So
I love Euro Trip, man. All those movies stemmed from that. Like, he's a genius, man. I'm going to burn one for him tonight.
It is. I mean, it is. And then his son continue Ghostbusters with Afterlife. It's kind of weird that a movie about Afterlife where one of his guys that he made a star, Harold Ramis, a director, that in that movie Afterlife, if you haven't seen it, I don't give a fuck. Harold Ramis is dead. He died in real life. But in that movie, he came back as a ghost to help defeat the enemy at the end. And that was Ivan Reitman's son, Jason Reitman. So, I mean, it just continues his work, and, you know, it's just awesome stuff. And guys,
I didn't know that Harold, you know, directed like Caddyshack. Man, that's so crazy. I love it when, you know, cinema guys like me, you know, get to hear more. And it's like, that was right under my nose. But none of us know everything. And that's the beautiful thing to once you tap into more people and more art, that you start being able to draw connections. And me, man, like whenever I catch myself in a doozy or looking stupid, you know, I'm able to pull some kind of pop culture reference out of it and make it all make sense.
yeah, I mean, it's, you know, Harold Ramis, you know, he did, you know, analyze that, you know, analyze this, Groundhog Day, you know, National Lampoon Vacation, you know, National Lampoon Vacation was directed by Harold Ramis. A lot of people don't know that. Of course, he directed Caddyshack, and some of these stories of him he said Caddyshack was one of the most hair-pulling out experience he ever had because everybody was fucked up when he was trying to make that movie Caddyshack. And then he never knew if Bill Murray was going to show up to do his parts in Caddyshack. He didn't know. And guys, and this is one of the coolest stories if you never heard this. After Groundhog Day, Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, they stopped being friends. They got in a big fight. So for the next 20, 30 years, Harold Ramis, Bill Murray did not talk. When Harold Ramis was dying on the deathbed with cancer, Bill Murray, this is a true story. Bill Murray wanted to see his friend to say sorry and stuff. He didn't know where Harold Ramis lived. He went to the police station. Said, I am Bill Murray, and I want to see my friend Harold Ramis. The police found where Harold Ramis lived and escorted him to Harold Ramis. And they were able to talk on his deathbed before Harold Ramis died. Like a few days later, he died. And that's just, you know, even though they had a fight, like a lot of people do, Bill Murray's like, you know what? He's my friend. He's about to pass away. I need to make this up. And he was able to use the police force to find his buddy Harold Ramis. I mean, and listen, and they all come from the Ivan Reitman's tree. A lot of those people would have not even been there if it wasn't for Ivan Reitman. With Animal House, with John Belushi, you know, he passed away way too freaking young. Meatballs that kind of took Bill Murray away from Saturday Night Live, saying, "Hey, I could be a movie star." Fucking Meatballs started that for Bill Murray, thanks to Ivan Reitman. And then of course, Ghostbusters, bringing them all together. You know, Stripes, where he took Harold Ramis and Bill Murray, put him together. Where a lot of people say Jeff Bridges in where he played the dude,
Big Lebowski.
They say a lot of Lebowski. If you actually watch Stripes, Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, they were like two goofballs that really shouldn't be in the military in a lot of ways, where Bill Murray was like the original dude. Some people say he was the original dude. Now it's thanks to thanks to Ivan Reitman's humor and comedy and how you wrote it. So, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today. I know we didn't talk too much about the two words, but this was kind of my way to say thank you, Ivan Reitman, for making this boy a man in a lot of ways.
100%, man. And now I realize he helped shape my childhood a lot more. You know, of course, I had appreciation for some of those classics, but really seeing that tree, like the fact that he even, you know, pushed Bill Murray. So Zombieland, like every movie he's ever been a part of, even goes back to Ivan, man. And I have goosebumps. And for the next few hours, I can't wait to do some research on it, man. That's special. And it shows what film and entertainment and art can do for you. You know, you have to read between the lines, and a lot of it is programming, but it can be entertainment and educational, and it can, speak to your spirit. So again, just try to sift through the BS and then try to find that beautiful message there. And that's what I'm all for.
He also helped out careers of Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, good Canadian people. Dan Aykroyd, of course, in his Ghostbusters movies, Chevy Chase, Saturday Night Live, and then, of course, Modern Problems, and when Chevy to Fletch and all that. Ivan Reitman helped out a lot of Canadians to make it into America. We don't think about that kind of stuff too, that, that's not America. Canada's always been there, but it took an Ivan Reitman to help to bring Canadians to be actors and actresses in America. So that's a big tribute too, right there alone. So
100%, man. He opened the door for many people. He was a trailblazer, and I appreciate that. Rest in peace. He's in a better place than we're in right now. And, one day in heaven is 1,000 years in earth. So he's just going to be just waiting for us to get home from work and watching over us. And hopefully, he could see more movies, transcend from his, family tree. So I'm really excited. And it's awesome that you have the foresight to dive into it and honor him like that.
So beyond that, guys, I'm going to end today's show, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow night for Young
Buy my
Guns
books,
2.
guys. They're on Amazon. Big Brother, Bigfoot, Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner, Eerie Swamps, Road Trip to Eden, and Panhandle Pirates. And then watch my movie on Amazon Prime. It is free. It's called Zillafoot. Half Godzilla, half Bigfoot. But yes, I got a big weekend planned, and I'm about to upload a 2-hour and 47-minute video from my Torreya hike yesterday. So as you guys saw, I survived my hike. I fell asleep before 9 o'clock, and I missed Amber's Paraworld on Spaced Out Radio. But make sure you guys check that out. I watched it this morning. She did an awesome job on there. Always just support the rest of our family. If any of you guys are interested in finding new channels, definitely check out my community page. I, share shows of all my family. I hope that bigger channels than me can start, leading by example as well and sharing other channels. It's all about defeating the algorithm and fighting against the establishment. And it starts in the community. We have to support each other. And if the guy with, 60K followers on TikTok is not too high or too low to be, showing up on people's chat and dropping comments, then nobody should. I'm big on, hit that like button, drop some comments, have some thought of what those creators are going through. As creators, as entertainers, as educators, we want all the best to be top of the line for you guys and educational. And sometimes it flops, and sometimes we can have a little bit more stronger foundation for each other. So how about you guys just support one another? And I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just trying to ignite even more love and passion, because I don't know. I wish there was logistics of how many comments that you could pop in and how many shows. I'm doing it so y'all can too, because I'm writing 4 books and from work and umpiring baseball. So I don't want to hear nothing about no time or nothing. Make time, guys. Make the effort. Make energy. It's all about creating and just letting us come together during this short time we have here. And the establishment will try to separate you and divide you at every turn of the page. But let's bound together and stay strong, guys. I appreciate all you guys.
Have fun doing it. Make sure you have fun.
And that's what we do here at Gypsy Road. We have so much fun, and we tap into so many awesome things. And I cherish my friendship with Eric, man. Going back to our first show, is Bigfoot supernatural? Is he from outer space? And it's amazing to think how far we've came as friends and the community that has came together. It's awesome, man. Thank you so much for helping us, get through the week a little bit more.
I might have to re-show that Saturday. Just re-show it. The beginning.
Hey. Do it 100%. And we have an awesome show tomorrow night, the Young Guns, man. And it's funny that Eric called it the Young Guns last time, and it actually became something. It was just a Young Guns episode. He's just talking about us, and now we're actually called the Young Guns, all of us. So it's a very cool thing to see things come fruition and full circle. But guys, open your eyes wide. Don't trust the establishment. Love your family and show support times 10. Come on, guys. Be there, because times are getting dark.
And the link will be up tonight. I will create the link tonight. It'll be up for tomorrow. Sometimes I get a little busy, but beyond that, guys, I got to go. He's got to go. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
I don't gotta go. We can stay on here for the next 4 hours, please, and get me to the end of my shift. But yes, guys, have a good one, and much love. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. And yes, Amber has a great show next week that she's interviewing a Sasquatch museum owner that we talked about yesterday, but I don't think she heard us mention it. But Scotch in South Florida and I are also going to be on that show. I'm very excited. They need to start, having me come to these museums and do some openings and stuff. But all in due time, guys. All in due time. Just got to put it out there. Catalyst, positivity, love, light, and fighting the establishment. One day at a time.
All right, guys. See you all tomorrow.